And this is why it's good to do this testing now compared to figuring all this out on Thursday. Yeah. All right, we're live.
Let's go. I got the notification.
So if we...
I'm going to ring that bell for you. Be the first to laugh. No, I'm wrong. I was first. I was first. Before you guys are even talking about it, I liked it way before.
All right, so how are we going for latency now?
Sir, put comments on. Comments are on.
Comments are on. You should be able to type something in the comments.
Yeah, just ask for more again.
There we go. We got some people. It's working. All right. So what's the latency like now?
You just say that?
Yeah.
Say something?
I'm just going to start counting and see how long it takes for you to hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Better than what it was.
On my stream, it's literally like 3 seconds. So refresh the screen. No, sir, it might be the internet speed of the school.
Maybe because everyone is streaming right now. All right, so initially I gave a question to these guys. I'm just going to test out the lag on the OneNote because earlier today it was really bad. But now I'm just going to see if I can do this. So we had a question that we had a bit of a starter question, and it's kind of linked in with what we did yesterday. And it was a can. We had a can, and it had a radius of 4 centimeters and a height of 14 centimeters. And the question was, what's the longest pencil that could fit inside the can? And that was the starter question, which was about 20 minutes ago. So we'll see. Let's see what people have got in here. I think Enrico had an answer. Can you remember what you said? For 16.12 was a possible answer. Did anyone else have an answer in here for this starter problem over there? Same thing. All right, so did we do a bit of a line from one corner to the other corner like that? Yeah. And we made a right angle triangle. I met my highlighter. And this... Henko's alive. Okay, it's true. They can hear everything. Okay, we've got this right angle triangle, and the height's 14 centimeters, which is the same as this side of the triangle. The radius is 4 centimeters, which makes the base of my right angle triangle not 4 centimeters, but 8 centimeters, because the radius of the can is only that much. So 8 centimeters is the total. It's like the diameter of my can. So with that, you have to do Pythagoras, and it's the square root to work out the longest pencil we can fit in here is this length. It's going to be 14 squared plus 8 squared. Square root all of that, and if you get a calculator, which I happen to have in here, let's just check if it's 16.12.
This thing is so lame, but by the way, George,
16.12. Perfect. Awesome. Whoops. Highlighter didn't work. A bit laggy now. Okay. So that's it for our starter question. Let's get on with today's lesson. That's what I'm sure you are all waiting on over here. I'm just taking a quick look at the comments. Wait, are we going to have tests? Maybe. We're still going to have tests, but they're not worth anything. So next week we're going to email everyone a test, and it's not going to be worth going anything towards your total overall grade. But we still want you to do them, and then send it back to us, and we'll mark it and give you a comment on Sector on how well you've gone. We're doing that until we figure out what we're going to do for next term. All right, so today we're going to look at
I'm gonna go subscribe right now.
we're going to look at exercise 2H, and we're going to do a bit of notes for this. Hopefully it won't take too long. My OneNote is freezing up a little bit, so I'm going to quickly quit OneNote and then go back into it. There we go. And let's get started. Okay, so today we are looking at binomial denominators. So we've got this idea that we've been trying to rationalize the denominator of things so far this week, and that's been pretty easy. So whenever we've had to rationalize the denominator of something, we've just basically multiplied the top and bottom of our fraction by the square root of the bottom number. What I mean for that is, say we had a question like 1 over the square root of 3. And if we wanted to rationalize the denominator of this thing, we would go times by square root 3 over square root 3. And we would figure out that that result is square root 3 on the top, and these two things multiply to equal 3 on the bottom. And no longer a third on the bottom, so therefore it's good to go. But today, the difference being, we've got this type of problem. On the bottom of our fraction, we have not just a straightforward third, but it's actually 2 square root 5 minus 2. So if we wanted to rationalize this, we need a method to get rid of the square root, but still keep this equivalent. So Enrico's got an idea, and I have covered this a little bit early in the week, but Enrico, what do we do for this one?
We use the conjugate, which is 2 square root 5 plus 2.
Yeah, we do the conjugate. So the base is 2 square root 5 minus 2. The conjugate is exactly the same thing as the base, the denominator, but instead of the minus, we put a plus there. And if I times it by that, that's not equivalent anymore. So I need to do the same on the top and on the bottom to make it equivalent to what we had to start with. Because if I have a fraction which has got the same values on the top and the bottom, it means I'm multiplying this original fraction by 1. So all this equates to 1. So that means all of a sudden our initial problem is now equivalent. So we still have a whole bunch of square roots and things like that. And the reason why we're doing the conjugate method is because when we expand, when we multiply this out, we multiply the two denominator things. If we put them both in brackets, let's use the FOIL method to expand the brackets on the bottom. And let's do the bit on the top as well. So let's do a fraction line like that. And on the bottom, we're going to expand. So we're going to go 2 square root 5 times 2 square root 5. So when you're doing that, you multiply the 2 and the 2 together to get 4. But then square root 5 times square root 5 is just 5. So it's 4 times 5, which is 20 for that first section. Then we're going to go this first term and the outside term. So 2 square root 5 times positive 2 is going to be 4 square root 5. I'm doing it this way just to show you that certain things will cancel out. You're not actually going to do all these 4 steps every time. And then the inside terms is we're going to multiply them together now. So negative 2 times 2 square root 5 is going to be minus 4 square root 5, because the 2 times 2 is negative 4, and the square root 5 is there. And you can tell that these two middle terms, they're going to cancel each other out. And then the final terms we multiply together is the negative 2 and the positive 2, so that means minus 4. And so what we can see is that the two middle terms cancel out because we have a difference of 2 squares. We've got difference of 2 squares expanded here, so that all we need to really do is multiply the first term together and the last term together. They're the only ones that count. On the top though, we've got the 2 square root 5, and we have to times it by everything in the second bracket. So we've got 2 square root 5 times 2 square root 5, which is again 4 times 5, so 20. And then the last two things times together is 2 square root 5 times 2 is 4 square root 5. So if we tidy that up a little bit, all that's left on the top is 20 plus 4 square root 5. And on the bottom, we have the 20 and we have the minus 4, which is 16. And that's pretty much it. You could simplify it a little bit further, like we could take out a common 4 from the top and the bottom. So you could do something like this. So if we factorize this further, on the top we have a common factor of 4 to both terms. So that's 4 outside the brackets of 5 plus square root 5. And on the bottom, 16 is the same as 4 times 4. And by factorizing out that 4, it's 4 times 4, not 4 times 6. I can cancel out those 4s at the beginning And now I get left with the simplified version, which has been rationalized. So this bit here is the answer. 5 square root 5 over 4 is the simplified version of this thing being rationalized. All right. So I'm going to go one more. So this one over here, the part B, we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to get the people in here in the class to help me out with this one. So we've got square root 3 plus square root 2. And the denominator this time is even more complicated. We've got square roots going on everywhere. We've got a square root 2, we've got a square root 3. It's all crazy. So other than Enrico, someone else in here, what would be the conjugate? What would be the thing in here that I would need to multiply by in order to simplify this fraction? Or someone in the comments.
Someone in the they can't hear you. Georgia is listening to me.
I'm willing to wait.
Yeah, there's like a 20-second delay, so don't worry. Izzy's smart, she can do it, but she's probably playing Fortnite in the background. That's not a joke.
So what's the conjugate of this thing? Who's been paying attention?
Me. I've been paying attention.
I'll scroll out.
It's a very good show.
This first one we times by 2 square root 5 plus 2. Yes. I know. Yes, let's do it. So we got 3 square root 2 minus 2 square root 3. Rachel's done it. Awesome.
Also, DG World has done it.
And then 3 square root 2 minus 2 square root 3.
Imagine.
DG World, I see 420 and the other bit's off the screen.
Not on 420.
Okay, so once we've done that, do the brackets method, FOIL it out, and simplify the answer. All right, so I'm challenging you guys in here. See if you can do this in the time it takes for someone online to actually they may have even got to the answer, but see if you can do it. Work out the steps, multiply it out, simplify it down. Race me. I'm going to give you guys a 3-minute head start. This is going to feel very awkward online because it's going to be a whole lot of silence, but it's going to give me a chance. I'm going to go back and scroll through some of the comments online and see if there's anything worthwhile sharing. Georgia says, don't, Sarah. And then Georgia says, no one needs to hear that. And then DG World says 420. And then Katiana says, why is that bad? And then DG World says the answer is 420 again. Rachel says 3 square root 2, take 2 square root 3. Meanwhile, everyone is here supposed to be doing it. Is there a way I can mute people on here?
Yes, you can put them in timeout, sir. If you make me moderator, then I can put people in timeout.
What if I want to put you in timeout?
Oh, what? But you don't even know what my name is.
Yeah, you're Cozzy. With a bed? Is that a bed? It is a bed.
Oh yeah, I put a bed because I said, imagine Rachel being in bed, and then I put a bed because I'm sleeping. Because it's very sleepy.
All right, that's my 2-minute head start. Was that 2-minute head start I was giving you, or 3-minute head start? Well, anyway, I'm going. So square root 3 times this thing on the top. So it's that 3 times square root 6. So 3 square root 6. Then it's going to be those two things times together. So square root 3 times this one over here. So that's going to be minus 2 square root... square root 3 times square root 3 is just multiplied by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Let's write that like that. And on the bottom, I'm going to do the trick. So rather than expanding out all the 4 different terms and doing it the long way, I'm going to do the trick. So I'm just going to multiply the 2 first terms together like this. So 3 square root 2 times 3 square root 2 is going to be 9 times 2, which is 18. And then the last 2 terms, times them together, is 2 times 2, which is negative 4, times the 3 for the square roots. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. So if you've done the right thing, you should get on the top 3 square root 6 minus 6. So 3 square root 6 minus 6. And on the bottom, 18 minus 12 is 6. We can simplify that further doing the same trick as I did last time. On the top, I can factorize out a common 3. 3 goes into square root, this first term, square root 6 times, and 3 goes into this thing minus 2 times. And on the bottom, 6 is equal to 3 times 2. The reason why I'm splitting it up like that is because now I've got my answer as square root 6 minus 2 over 2. And that has been simplified. Yes. Mr. Wager wants to put me in timeout. Correct. And Georgia says, yeah, we can hear that. All right. So what work do I want you to do today? Because that's kind of it for the lesson in terms of the notes stuff. Just the 2 examples today. In terms of the exercises, the questions I want you to do, there's quite a few repeated things in exercise 2H, but it's on page 62 and 63. Let's just zoom in here. I'm always going to write the questions that I want you to do in the OneNote, so you need access to that. Exercise 2H, page 62 to 63, and let's do questions 1. Yeah, let's do that. Questions 1 to 6, second column.
Hi guys.
Hey, we're in.
We've been watching.
You've been watching. You've been reading the comments.
Watch a real live YouTube celebrity in action.
and it's great. I'm gonna put these guys on so they can see it, but this could just ruin everything in terms of my cabling and stuff. So I've got a bit of an audience. This is Mr. Hurley's class. So these are Year 11 method students who have turned up for their final day of schooling for a while. And this is my massive class of Year 9s today. Look at that. And over this side, there. So I've got 7 students today. Normally have 30.
It works really well though. We watched it today.
Yeah.
And it works really well. And it came out bang straight away.
So cool, sir.
Is the latency still about 20 seconds, Enrico?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, we're not interacting with you. We're just watching you there. So just it's
You
just
can't tell.
It's a live stream.
Yeah.
Nice. So there, Gus, YouTube celebrity. Remember?
Sarah Smith says hi. She says, "Tell Mr. Hurley I said hi."
Yeah, you can say hi to her. She can hear you.
Hi. Are you Sarah?
She'll hear you in about 20 seconds time.
Okay, we better leave him to.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You, sir.
Bye, guys. I'll see you in cyberspace or something, virtual reality or something.
There we go.
Cool, eh?
All right, so I'm going to stay online just for a little bit longer, but if anyone in the chat wants to ask any questions about the work today, you can. Otherwise, in about 3 minutes' time, I'm going to end this stream. So we'll see how we go. Everyone else has got work to do. You've got questions 1 to 6, second column of exercise 2H. Yeah, Mr. Hurley's gone, guys. Sorry, DG World. No, I didn't make Cozzy gone, no. Didn't make him mod. Nope.
Oh, it only came through now that you're closing the stream in 3 minutes.
Yep, so I have to wait 3 minutes plus a little bit extra, right? If that makes sense. 3.5 minutes. Oh, before I end the stream, there's one other thing. On the OneNote, if you go to, on the left-hand side, the mental thing over here. So you've got welcome, program, mental. So above content or collaboration space. I have today added a mathsmate to our mental that if you wanted to do that at home, all you need to do is copy this mathsmate, actually over here, press it on this page, 31st of March, go copy, and then jump down to your folder in here, in this section over here. Everyone's got their own folder, and you can put it anywhere you like in your folder, maybe in under mental or something like that. I'm going to pick on Enrico because he's here, and in mental, just go paste, and that way you can actually edit it, and you can do things like type and stuff by double clicking and pushing in there. If you've got a screen that's got touch capabilities, you can maybe draw your answers with the pencils and the pens on here somehow. I don't know if that's going to work. But
So, why don't you put a donate link in the description?
Did I put a donate link?
Yes, look, I can go onto it right now, look, and I can click on it. I'm donating to you through PayPal, right?
But I don't have anything linked to that. That's not me.
Oh, what?
Someone.
Where's all the money going?
I don't know. I'm not doing any. I'm not monetizing this at all.
It
This
says
is.
support the stream. https://streamlabs.com/.
So maybe you.
And it sent me to a donate link.
Maybe you're paying Streamlabs. But I haven't connected up anything to Streamlabs, so okay, I'll get rid of that.
Man, just donate $2.
Okay, so you guys can do the maths mate as well, and other than that, do you?
Wait, there's a question. It says, do you regret pursuing a career in teaching because of Enrico?
Yep, sure. I'll say yes to that.
That's not right.
All right, that's it, guys. I'm gonna end the stream. Bye, and I'm gonna see. I'll see if I do this. If I go to ending, that goes to this screen, and then if I wait 20 seconds on this, then we'll cancel it. It also tells me on Streamlabs that I've got 0 viewers. That's not true. So I'll bring this over to this screen. So here it tells me 0 viewers up here. And
Let me copy the sheet.
Rico, shut up.
Thank you.
Rachel, that's not
Thanks for the sub.
it won't let you copy it from the mental.
Oh, what do you have to copy from?
So go mental.
Yep.
Go to the 31st of March.
Yep.
Right click. Go copy. Is that not an option?
No. Oh, wait, this is the copy button.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the copy button. Yeah, works.
When I get home, I'm gonna get on the Zoom.
And then paste it into your section. All right.